On this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to find the inverse of a function. From your notes, you remember that the inverse of the function reverses what the function does, and the notation for the inverse of the function. If the function is f of x, then its inverse is written as f to the negative 1 of x, as seen here on this page, as seen here. Okay? So how do we find the inverse of a function? First, uh, let f of x be y, we can say, right? So I'm going to say let f of x equals y. Okay, so we're going to start by that. So if I'm calling f of x y, based on this up here, I can say that y is equal to 7x plus 3. So what we're going to do now is make y the inverse of the function, and that's kind of simple. To make y the inverse of the function, you simply interchange x and y. Right, so interchange x. So we're going to interchange x and y. So we have now x is equal to 7y plus 3. Now after we interchange x and y becomes the inverse, as I said before, right? So once you've done that, y becomes the inverse. So it's a matter now of making y the subject of an expression for the inverse of f of x. So make y the subject. So making y the subject of this, we simply take away 3 from each side, right? So we'll have x minus 3 is equal to 7y. Then we'll have to divide through now by 7. So x minus 3 over 7 is equal to 7y over 7. And we did that now so that we can cancel the 7. So y, let me just continue here. Y is equal to x minus 3 over 7. So therefore, the inverse, f inverse of x, is equal to x minus 3 over 7. So simply remember, if f of x is 7x plus 3 and you want to find the inverse, this means this is actually for the inverse of the function. You simply call f of x y, and then you interchange the y and the x. When that is done, y becomes the inverse of the function, and then you simply have to make y the subject after that. So this is where transposition comes in. After this step, after you've interchanged the x and the y, now the rest of it is simply transposition, because you need to make y the subject, and when y becomes the subject, then you have your inverse. Let's look at another one. This one says if f of x is 1 minus x over 3x plus 4, write an expression for f inverse of x. So remember I said the first thing you do, you make y, call f of x y. So we say y is equal to 1 minus x over 3x plus 4. The next we interchange the x and y. So call the y x, switch the y to x, and then 1 minus y over 3y plus 4. And once we've interchanged, it now becomes transposition. We need to make y the subject. With this here, y is in the denominator, so we cross multiply. Cross multiplying gives us x times this denominator, 3y plus 4 equals 1 times that numerator, so 1 minus y. Now we need to get this y out of the bracket so we can group it with the other y. So we have x, or 3xy, plus 4x is equal to 1 minus y. Um, no, the y appeared twice, remember that? So if the y's appear twice, that's the one you want to make the subject. Simply group them together so you can factor it out. So you'd have 3x y plus y is equal to 1 minus 4x. You factor the y out of these, so y into 3x plus 1 is equal to 1 minus 4x. And then now you're multiplying the y by 3x plus 1, so you simply divide each side by 3x plus 1. So y times 3x plus 1 divided by 3x plus 1 is equal to 1 minus 4x divided by 3x plus 1. And then what happens there now is that these are cancelled, so this is gone. So y is equal to 1 minus 4x over 3x plus 1. So remember, y is now the inverse, so f inverse of x is equal to 1 minus 4x over 3x plus 1.